Hello and welcome back to SIG Mechanics. I'm Edmund. This video is part 2 of the P365 manual safety installation video where I will be providing subscribers with the step-by-step disassembly process for anyone that's looking to remove the manual safety from their P365. Now this video is going to be relatively short, however, if you want to learn more about the 365's manual safety and its mechanical operation, I strongly recommend you also watch part 1 of this video series where I provide a full explanation of the function as well as breakdown of the manual safety lever, and this includes detailed 3D models in order to showcase aspects of the P365 you might otherwise never be able to see without it. Let's begin. Before we get started, a quick disclaimer: I'm not a gunsmith or a certified armorer, and any modifications or work done to a firearm should be completed and inspected by a qualified gunsmith. If you do use this video as a reference, please note that you are responsible for any and all legal, health, and warranty consequences that may be incurred. In order to remove the manual safety, you'll have to, of course, disassemble the P365 and remove the FCU from the grip module. And to do that, you simply lock back the slide, turn the takedown lever to the 6 o'clock position, and while holding the slide to provide control, release the slide catch and guide the slide off the FCU rails. And now you can use a pin punch or another small diameter tool to push out the retention pin at the rear of the FCU from right to left. With the retention pin removed, you can now grip the FCU from the rear and lift it up and out at a 45-degree angle, and therefore your FCU will now look like this one. Next, in preparation of the disassembly, we're going to lift the slide catch lever to release the takedown from the 6 o'clock position. And we're doing this in order to lift the sear back up to its normal resting position, which will give the manual safety assembly the room it needs to be removed from the FCU later on. And before I proceed, I just want to pause for a moment and let you know that in the next step, we will be handling and disengaging the detent assembly on the manual safety lever. And that's this small pin that you see right over here. And behind that pin is a smaller spring that's semi-compressed while the detent sits inside the notch. And I'm pointing this out because what we're about to do next is compress the detent into the housing until it passes this peak right over here. And now once it does come out, the spring is going to want to, of course, spring out. And I just want you to keep this in mind because this part of the process is usually where people might end up losing parts. However, that's not to say that this isn't easy because it's really simple, and I will be showing you the best way to mitigate potentially losing any parts as I work. Now, that being said, I will also be slowing down the process in order to highlight what I'm doing, but in real time, you will be doing what I'm showing you, but in one continuous motion. Now, the tools you will need for this next step are a flat-headed pick or another thin tool like this one here, and optionally a magnetic parts bowl in order to keep your small parts from rolling around off the countertop later on. To remove the manual safety lever assembly from the FCU, the first step will be to turn the safety lever into the disengaged position. And as you can see, the detent is now riding on the higher of the two notches. And next you'll want to take the flat-headed pick and place it into the lower notch so that you're creating a sort of slope. And in the next step, we'll be turning the safety lever to the engaged position, which will force the detent to jump from the higher notch to the lower notch and onto the pick face. Now, notice how I'm holding the pick. I have the flathead in the notch, and then my finger is placed just below the notch, and it's covering the back of the pick. And this is done on purpose so that if the detent slides off the pick surface in the next step, the detent and spring will be stopped by my finger. And this will help you prevent any parts from accidentally flying across the room inadvertently. Okay, so now I'm going to start rotating the manual safety lever slowly to help me control the detent's movement. And once the detent snaps onto the pick surface, I will continue to rotate the levers until I see that the detent is out of the lower notch and is fully on the pick face. And if I continue to rotate, the internal spring will fully decompress as I do this, and the detent will be free to be removed. Now, if when you installed the springs in the first place, you added a dab of grease to the springs, you might need to extract the spring from the housing, like I'm doing right now with a fine tip pick. But in most cases, the spring will just fall out if you hold the levers upside down. Okay, so now relatively speaking, we've already completed the more difficult steps in this process. And now the only thing left to do is remove the manual safety from the FCU. And to do that, you want to rotate the levers so that the hole on the detent housing is up 90 degrees. And then you want to shift the levers up so that the housing on the left is now away from the FCU frame and the right side of the lever is touching the frame. And at this point, you'll also notice that there's this curved tab at the rear of the trigger bar, and it's slightly blocking the manual safety lever from being removed. And to move that out of the way, just pull the trigger and now lift the levers up while slightly rotating the levers clockwise, and this will remove the lever body from the FCU frame. And so now your FCU will look like this one here, and you have successfully deleted the manual safety from your P365. Now, to reassemble the FCU to the grip module, first note that you will need to use the grip module that does not have the manual safety cutout into it, so it looks like this one here. And to install the FCU into this grip, simply insert the FCU at a 45-degree angle, trigger first, and then seat the FCU into place. And now we can take our retention pin and insert it through the grip module and the FCU at the very back from right to left, and make sure to push it in all the way so that it's flush with the grip module. And last, turn your takedown lever to the 6 o'clock position by lifting the slide catch and rotating the takedown lever, and then gently releasing the slide catch. And now we can line up the slide with the rails, lock back the slide, and make sure that the takedown lever is taken out of the 6 o'clock position, and release the slide catch. And now we can do a quick function check. And the P365 is now ready for use. Okay, so before I end this video, I want to let you guys know that ModGuns and SigMechanics have teamed up to start a new Facebook group called the Sig Sauer Community. And here you guys can share your builds with us and other members of the community, ask us or the community questions, and you will also start finding exclusive SigMechanics content and educational videos on a variety of Sig Sauer products. And also in time, we will be hosting community events and competitions against other members of the group, where you will be able to win prizes and merchandise. So if you're on Facebook, come and join the community. As usual, a big thank you to ModGuns for being a huge supporter of the SigMechanics channel, and they do supply many of the parts necessary for me to make these videos. So please go check them out and support them if you can. And also, of course, a sincere thank you to all of you who support this channel, either by subscription or by engaging with the community in the comment section of these videos, and especially to those of you who are sharing these videos on various forums and with others in different communities who may not know about this channel. The exponential growth of this channel is in major a part due to all of you, and so once again, thank you. Okay, that's all I have for you today. See you soon.